Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern from Modern Salon TV. I'm here with Sophia Ance, who is the finalist in the Color Zoom, which category?
Creative.
Creative category. And this is very exciting. You are in Jacksonville, Florida at Studio Sage, one of my favorite salons in the world. And Sophia, before we get started on your picture here, where can people follow you?
My name is Sophia Ance .alchemist, and that's my IG handle.
All right, perfect. All right, great. So this is your final picture, which is so beautiful. I fortunately was a judge, and this was one of my favorites right out of the box. Tell us a little bit about what's going on here.
So I really love the silhouette of the haircut that we have going on. I love the mullet that I created on her. And with Sabrina's color, it's really important to me that I create something more simple because the haircut was going to be so edgy. So I went with more of an interest piece in the front. That way I could have the impact that I wanted without it being too much, because that would be too much to have all the hair color all over the place. So I focused on the fringe.
And we're going to talk about that hair color in a second, but I want to ask you, this is a great model, and you're in Jacksonville, Florida. How did you find your model?
I work with amazing people. Erica Keelan is wonderful, so she helped me find Sabrina, and just working with people that we're constantly finding models and looking for talent. So she was one of the girls that we usually work with.
And people willing to do stuff. So let's talk about this. This is so cool, and as a judge, again, I was drawn to the fringe and the colors in the fringe, and you have set up your model, your mannequin head, so that we can do this. So let's head over here, and I want you to talk about exactly how you did it. I'll get on this side of you, how you did it, and your formulas.
Okay, so my pieces of interest, like I said, I really wanted to be careful that I didn't overdo it, and it's kind of scary on someone that has longer hair, but I knew that I was going to have a veil coming over Sabrina's hair with the length of the top. So I did a wedge section, and a slice right behind that, well, actually two slices right behind that, and then another wedge section, I can't say that word, right behind that. So it's basically 3 block colors back to back, which sounds kind of scary, but it's actually really really nice whenever it all comes together and they all blend. So I didn't give my exact formulas here, but it's just so I can demonstrate the technique and show you.
All right, so take it away. Show us how you did this.
Okay, so I started up in the front here, and then you can see it doesn't come to a point, but my section in this back area is a little bit taller.
Here, I'm going to pull this over a little bit so that we can see it from there.
So it's not a rectangle, but the way I chose to do it was go with the wedge section. So longer here and then goes into a shorter tapered state. So I went to just do back to back. So pin this out of the way.
So it's really a fine section.
It's a fine section. It's hard on mannequin hair, so on someone's actual hair, it's a lot easier. You always have cowlicks that you have to be, concerned with, but it's really not so tricky.
And even though you knew you were going to veil it, you still go to the root or the scalp.
You can. In Sabrina's situation, we did more of a root color on her, so I didn't need to go all the way to the root on her. So she did have her own separate root formula. But it's certainly okay to connect it if you want to, but in my situation, I did not. So then I just do right behind it.
Now you're going into the next shade, which is placed on a diagonal.
So this is just a slice right behind my wedge section. So this is going to be a panel that's just to create another pop in between in what I did here. So just a small little slice, and then I'm going to do another one right behind it.
Now, I noticed that this mannequin head came up here and she had long hair, and you pre-cut it. Would you ordinarily pre-cut to the desired length, or do you leave enough to play with and then go in and recut the hair?
So what I would normally do, if I'm normally in the salon, it's going to be different than the way I did it here. You normally build the house and then paint the walls, but in this situation, because I was going with such a short fringe, it's really difficult to grab the foil and grab the hair and paint it the way that you want to. So I left the fringe longer, and then I went in and dry cut just to finish it and give it the texture and the pieciness that I wanted. So I did. I left it longer and then colored it, and then I went back in and dry cut it.
Any tips on timing?
I'm working on that as well. Timing in terms of haircuts or in
No, how long you let it process?
So this will process for 30 minutes.
Anything special in the rinsing so that the colors don't blend or get muddy?
With the lumen, I don't have to worry about that because they don't bleed onto each other. But I definitely would rinse, even still, just to be 100% sure. I learned the hard way. You want to always prepare when you're going to use a lumen, so that will definitely help you avoid having a color that just goes down the drain. I also use cold water and then pull each foil section by section. So if I'm going to pull my one color, I'm going to rinse that first, then I'm going to go to my next color, and then I'm going to follow up with my final color. So I'm not just pulling them all haphazardly. I'm working with intent and making sure I'm nice and neat when I'm doing it.
Okay, and then this is now the veil section.
So this is just my piece of interest, and then the veil will come on top of it.
Okay, so what we're going to do is go back to your finished picture. So just so you can stand over here so you can show, this is then going to be the veil, and this is, what shade did you use here? Was it?
So this is going to be my lightest blue that's coming on top of everything. So I have 3 different ones that I'm working with, and then the veil, because she's a pixie, all of the veil is going to be coming from the back coming forward.
Oh, I love it. So let's go back to your picture, the final shot of, and I'm going to get on this side of you so that we can see it, but that is so beautiful.
Thank you.
Again, congratulations. Good luck in Toronto.
Thank you so much.
How do we follow you?
Sophia Ance.alchemist.
So great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.